welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Sharon. I'm a 7-figure Amazon FBA seller, a mother, a wife, an entrepreneur, and also an Amazon FBA coach. So I wasn't actually planning on, this was not the video that was supposed to come out today, but I have seen so much talk, obviously, and so many questions around the coronavirus, which has started from China, and a lot of just question marks. People are asking all sorts of questions that not all of these questions currently even can have an answer. But I feel like this video is just really important to just help people to understand the situation and what sort of impact this virus is going to have on us as e-commerce sellers. This channel is usually mostly about Amazon FBA, but I personally, apart from Amazon, have been sourcing outside of China for 15 years. So I am focusing this on anyone who's sourcing from China, not just on Amazon, even though I specifically am focused on Amazon today. But even if you're drop shipping from Shopify or whatever it may be, then this video will also be for you. Now, if you are interested in Amazon FBA, I encourage you to hit subscribe to this channel because I bring out new videos all the time, and it would just really help me if you click on subscribe. Anyway, I have made a list of things that I want to talk about, so you may see me look down a little bit. So let's get straight into it. So if for some reason you have been living under a rock and do not know about the coronavirus is a novel virus, which means it's a brand new virus that has not been seen before. That originated in China and is now also slowly spreading all over the world. There is a lot of talk about it, and I encourage you to go to Google and actually read about it because I'd rather focus right now on the impact it's going to have. There is a lot of talk about the virus worldwide. A lot of people are very scared just to even touch things that have come from China. And I just want to address some things in this video that, you know, how this could affect us as sellers or anyone who's sourcing. So the very first thing I want to talk about before I even get into the impact it's going to have on us is, even if your supplier is not part of the 56 million people currently in lockdown, you should still be sending them out messages asking them how they are, showing them empathy and explaining that, you know, you're aware of the situation and you care about them and you're just checking up on them and seeing how they are. And not just your suppliers, just any service providers that you use and you have a good working and business relationship with from inside of China, you should definitely send them out those messages. It'll only strengthen your relationship. I said this to someone who I coach. I also do one-on-one Amazon coaching, and he said, yeah, but I'm already in stock, so I haven't even contacted my suppliers. And I said, it doesn't matter, I'm also in stock, but I'm still sending out weekly messages asking how my suppliers are, not only because, you know, I also would want to know that everything's okay with them, but also because I know that it will strengthen our future relationship. They will not forget that when the going got tough, I was there asking if they need anything, can I help with anything? So I highly encourage you to send out messages to your suppliers, asking them how they are, saying that you're aware of the situation, your thoughts are with them, and that you are here if they need anything. I promise you that it will only do good to show a little bit of empathy. Now, that's that part of the communication. The second part of the communication is the question on when will my suppliers be back up and running. I'm filming this on the 2nd of February. It is now the very end, just supposed to be the end of the Chinese New Year, but currently the Chinese government has extended the Chinese New Year holidays until the 10th of February, meaning that no one is allowed to go back to work, as in leave their house and go to work, from the 11th until the 11th of February. This does not mean that your suppliers, some of them may not already be working from home. So in regards to asking those questions, that is something only your supplier can answer you. Currently, no one is allowed to go back to work until the 10th of February, and that is also including schools. And I highly encourage you to actually reach out to your suppliers and ask them, when do you expect to be coming back? How is this going to delay my shipments, etc.? They will have the answers for you because nobody else can answer that for you. Remember that this is not now in general, no matter what, there would have been delays because we're just coming back from Chinese New Year. But with this virus, you're probably going to need to expect a lot more delays. If you're someone new who is just thinking about getting into e-commerce right now and you're just a little bit scared because of what's going on in China, I want to remind you that this is also going to pass. You know, people are not going to stop sourcing and buying things from China. But we'll get into that more very soon. So I did write here, when will factories open again? And I did just answer that. So expect I would say the minimum would probably be the 10th of February. Possibly some factories will only open up a little bit later. I literally just had a conversation with one of my suppliers and she said, look, Sharon, we've been told that we're going to be back at work by the 10th, but you never know, it may be a little bit more delayed. So just make sure to communicate with your suppliers so that you have that answer from them. So are buyers going to be scared of purchasing made in China products? Now, I've seen this question being asked literally on every Facebook group, and some people are answering yes, some people are answering no, and the real answer to that is possibly, maybe. There is no definite yes or no. Some people will be scared of buying products right now from China, and some people will understand that they don't need to be scared of buying products from China. I think it also really depends on what kind of product you sell. There are a lot of different articles online about this because this is a question that has been asked worldwide. Fox News, CNN, they've all made articles about whether products are safe to order from China. All of them are saying yes. Now, I am not going to pretend that I am some sort of virus guru or someone who really understands about this virus. This is a brand new virus. No one knows exactly all the answers about it yet. But I have read everywhere, every single resource says that this virus can only be passed from human to human or animal to human or animal to animal. And it can only survive on a surface for a maximum of a few hours. So the more that people are asking these questions and the more that there is talk about it from trusted sources like Fox, etc., I do believe that people will get over the fear of buying things from China right now, and things will go back to normal. So if you're scared right now of, or you think you're having a slowdown in sales because of products being made in China, I highly doubt it. It could be. There is no definite answer to that, but just know that this is something that people may be fearful of right now, but it is not going to be like that forever, and we do not need to stop sourcing from China. Okay, guys, this is not something that needs to now stop people from buying things that are made in China. By the time the product arrives from China to your house, minimum of 3 to 4 days and even weeks have passed, and the virus is not going to still be alive on your products. So obviously I am not a scientist. You can go and read about what I just said. Know that a lot of people have been asking these questions, and they will find the answers online and on TV and everywhere. That is what is being said. So do not be scared now of sourcing from China because of this. Will there be delays in production? Of course there's going to be delays in production. There would have been delays in production even if this virus wasn't out there right now, because we're just getting back from Chinese New Year. So of course, with this virus that has got 56 million people in lockdown, and people are just really suffering right now in China, etc., it's definitely going to have a delay. How much of a delay? No one really knows. We're going to have to play it out. You're going to have to communicate with your suppliers. And no one in Facebook groups can really give you the answer to that. Only time will be able to tell right now. Which leads to the next question that most people are asking, which is, should I then source outside of China? So my answer to that is temporarily, possibly yes, and not necessarily. So what does that mean? Possibly temporarily, if you are about to go out of stock and you need something urgently, maybe you will be able to find an easier answer or a quicker answer if you try to source locally, or in America, in India, countries that are well known also for importing and exporting. I will put links to different sort of websites and countries that you could go to. For example, cosmetics, and there's always Korea and things like that as well. You have to be resourceful. I'm not going to abandon my Chinese suppliers. I will still be ordering from my Chinese suppliers because I'm well prepared for Chinese New Year. I have enough stock anyway for the next few months. So I predict that I'm going to be okay. For people who are almost out of stock and need something desperately, communicate with your suppliers. And if you see that it's not going to fit your time frame, then you really need to sit down and do your homework and see, is ordering from a brand new supplier, it could have the same sort of time frame right now. By the time you get samples and everything like that. So it really depends on where you would be sourcing from. But know that there are alternatives. Now, I always say you should never have all your eggs in one basket in general. Now, I've always also said that you should always have a backup supplier. I've never said that you should have a backup supplier from a different country, because I personally have never been through what we're all going through right now. So I do think that this has even taught me a lesson, and I'm now sharing that with you. Then yes, you should always have a backup supplier that is outside of the country that you order from, just in case something like this happens. But I don't think that people should now be scared of ordering or sourcing in general from China. China is where like the majority of products are made in the world, and you will most probably not find your products cheaper than in China as long as it's really good quality and you've been happy up to date. Then definitely, you don't need to now steer away from that. There are certain types of products that possibly for the next few months would be more beneficial for you to actually source from outside of China because of that fear around products being sourced from China, but it really depends on what you sell. So to answer that question, I will put links to different places that you can also even find suppliers from different countries on Alibaba. When you go into Alibaba, on the left hand side there is a sort of table, and you can click on which country you would like to source from. India is there, Korea, all sorts of other Asian countries that you should still be able to source from are there as well. But I also put other resources at the bottom also. So some people have been saying, but there is no flights in and out of China. That is true. A lot of places in China right now, we cannot get to them, but cargo planes are still being flown in and out as usual, from my understanding from my shipping company, which is Unicargo. And I'll also put a link to their blog below because they are consistently updating what is going on inside of China and with cargo in and out. So you should be fine on cargo wise, importing and exporting. There are some types of products that may be held in customs, so you really just need to be in touch with your freight forwarder or the shipping company and ask them in advance if they expect for your specific product to have any issues because it's being exported outside of China. And that's only really something that a forwarder can answer, because they will know these answers in advance dependent on your type of product. So in general, I do want to say that yes, this will have an impact on us, not just on us as sellers. This will have an impact on the world in general. I hope that it will not be something that is going to be too long. I don't think that as sellers we all need to now get into some sort of panic. I think we have to play it out and wait for the next few weeks. I will make another video in a few weeks from now, but I do encourage you also to be resourceful. Go on Google, read, be updated, speak to your suppliers. If you're watching this video and you are just getting into sourcing or into Amazon FBA, I encourage you to continue. Do not now think that you should not be getting into it because of the coronavirus. This is something that will pass, and the longer you wait to get into the game, the more that you could be missing out. So do not wait. Continue business as usual. If you are new, just know that right now suppliers may take their time answering you due to what is happening currently in China. Now, some people are asking me, should they still put their orders in now? I can tell you that because I am predicting a delay, and also my suppliers have confirmed that there will be a delay, I am going to be putting in orders earlier than I would normally do, because if usually, for example, your manufacturing time is your lead time is around 30 days, it could even be now 60 days. So you have to communicate with your suppliers to get those answers. I hope that this video has helped you guys to understand a little bit more about the situation and how it will impact us. I haven't really given any yes or no answers. I've just really spoken about what I think is going to happen and how I recommend for people to continue. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It really helps me to grow the channel, and I promise to keep you guys updated. If you're not on my Amazon FBA group, I invite you to join. I keep people updated all the time on different things that are going on in e-commerce and in Amazon. And if you're in need in one-on-one coaching, know that I do one-on-one Amazon coaching, and I will also put the link below. And I'll see you guys all in the next video.